This is Vergil. He's 44 years old. His house is in the northeast section of Redgrave, where all the villas are, and he is not married. He is self-employed, and he gets home every day by 8 p.m. at the latest. He doesn't smoke, but he occasionally drinks. Vergil is in bed by 11 p.m. and makes sure to get 8 hours of sleep no matter what. After having a glass of warm milk and doing about 20 minutes of trick dodges before going to bed, he usually has no problems sleeping until morning. Just like a baby, he wakes up without any fatigue or stress. He was told there were no issues at his last checkup and left with a clean bill of health. I'm trying to explain that he's a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. He takes care not to trouble himself with any enemies, things like winning and losing, or anything that would cause him to lose sleep at night. That is how he deals with society. It's what brings him happiness in a world fraught with hardship and misery. Of course, if he were ever to engage in combat, he would win the battle without question. Welcome to my super move only challenge run. The rules to this one are quite simple. I only allowed myself to use Judgment Cut End, Hell on Earth, Deep Stinger, and World of V. Taunts were also allowed for the purposes of gaining Devil Trigger, but that was it. As I stated before, Vergil didn't trouble himself with enemies, but something had begun to cause a ripple in his quiet life. A ripple that would quickly become a tidal wave if he didn't cut it off at the root. What could be so destructive as to cause a quiet man like Vergil to throw his chips into the ring? Anime girls. They threatened to take over the world, and he had to put a stop to it before everyone around him began casually throwing out cringe terms like waifu or kawaii desu ne. In order to end this threat before it got off the ground, Vergil's first task was to figure out who was behind it all. He made his way to the local church to question a particular part-time clergyman, a self-proclaimed otaku and waifu lover, Goliath Anderson. As soon as Vergil revealed that he wished to stop the coming anime uprising, Goliath flew into a rage. Churchgoers who fled the scene claimed they had heard him exclaim something about his harem, but that's all speculation. Vergil was gonna have to get his answers the hard way. After he calmed down, Goliath was more than eager to talk. Anderson claimed he didn't know who was behind all of it, but he gave Vergil the details about a certain third-party contact who might have ties to whoever was behind this. The whole endeavor was turning into a bigger headache than Vergil initially expected, but he was never one to leave a task half finished. His next target was going to be anything but easy to crack. This person was known for their tentacles that could supposedly stretch for miles, and they were often hailed as a pirate of a veritable treasure trove of information. Word on the street was that he would sell anything for the right price, but Vergil didn't intend on paying. Monkey D. Urizen was gonna talk, one way or another. But Monkey D. Urizen had a trick up his sleeve that Vergil wasn't aware of. His cool hat added +10 to defense, and it was simply too much for Vergil to break through. He was gonna have to find another way to get to the bottom of all this. Luckily, Urizen wasn't the only info broker in town, so Vergil sought out the only other competition around, Cavalier Haruko. He was mostly known for his left-handed Azure Glow Rickenbacker 4001 C64 electric bass guitar, and anyone that ever heard him play claimed sparks would fly with each chord. The only sound that interested Vergil, however, was his swan song. Following their all-out jam session, Cavalier was more than happy to give up the information that Vergil sought, but he didn't like what he heard. Supposedly, some chicken witch hybrid demon cast a spell on Vergil's own brother, causing Dante to become an anime girl himself. It stood to reason that if the witch were taken care of, the spell would dissipate and the anime threat would cease to be. Little was known about this reclusive witch, only that she resided deep in Hell's basement, browsing 4chan and Reddit, posting on r/occult, and manifesting her way through life. Vergil made his way through the Mountain Dew-coated and Dorito dust-covered depths to reach this witch, but nothing could have prepared him for what he saw next. With the witch defeated, all that was left was to make sure the curse had been lifted. Vergil made his way to the top of the demonic tree tower thing, where he and his brother used to play as kids. It was their own little hideaway that nobody else knew about. Literally nobody at all. No living person knew about this place. Only them. But their old hideout had acquired a new bouncer. Monkey D. Urizen had sold his services once again, but this time something was off about him. He somehow seemed more serious. If their first encounter was just messing around, then Vergil was in for the fight of his life. In Urizen's final moments, he revealed that he was simply trying to protect Vergil. Although Malphus had been defeated, the curse on Dante wasn't lifted. It remained and worsened with each passing moment. Vergil didn't want to believe it, but as he raced up the summit, he felt a hole in his chest, a sinking feeling that just wouldn't go away. This couldn't be true. Dante was Dante. He had always been there. There was no way he would let some curse consume him. But at the peak, all Vergil saw was pink hair. Dante, he cried out, as he was met with nothing but an overly enthusiastic nep in response. He had to be stopped. It was time to end Dante and his anime reign of terror. For the glory of mankind. And in the end, Vergil beat the anime out of Dante, and all was right in the world. That was Vergil Super Moves Only. I did something very different with this video, a lot of different editing that I hadn't done before. I put more of an emphasis on the music and storyline that I was weaving throughout, and I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely had a ton of fun making it. I was very inspired. Leave a comment if you can pick out any of the references scattered throughout the video. Thank you all for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you all, and have a wonderful day.